Do you like the house I bought you? My grandpa's words froze everyone at the Christmas table. Forks stopped midair. My mother's hand slipped off her wine glass. And just like that, our family shattered. But here's the thing, this moment was planned. Just not by them. 2 weeks earlier, I was broke. Struggling in a tiny Portland apartment where the heater rattled louder than my own thoughts. Instant noodles for dinner. Again. My parents? They were posting ski trip photos and reminding me that independence builds character. Every message from mom ended the same way: you should learn to manage money like adults do. I never replied. Silence kept the peace. The only person who never made me feel small was Grandpa Edward. At 22, he told me, someday, I'll make sure you have a place of your own. I thought he meant advice. Not an actual house. A week before Christmas, his voice sounded different on the phone. This year, I have a special gift for you. I laughed. Grandpa, you don't have to get me anything. He chuckled. Oh, it's already done. That night, I scrolled through my parents' posts from their Napa dinner party. Red wine. Polished smiles. Caption, family is everything. It felt like a joke I wasn't in on. My friend Clara smirked when I told her. Special gift, huh? Maybe he finally realized you deserve more than their leftovers. I smiled, but it didn't reach my eyes. Then the email came. Congratulations on the successful sale of the Pacific Lane property. Pacific Lane. The same street Grandpa mentioned years ago. The place he said would fit my sunlight. My heart slammed against my ribs. Sold. But to who? I called Mom, keeping my voice light. Hey, random question. Did Grandpa ever buy a house on Pacific Lane? Long pause. Oh, that. No. The market crashed that year. Nothing ever came of it. Right. Because I got this weird email. Her breath hitched. Angelina, you shouldn't open things that aren't yours. You always overthink. She hung up. For the first time, her calm sounded like fear. That night, every creak in my apartment whispered, they lied. I traced the email to a realtor in Lake Oswego. The next morning, I called, pretending to be interested in recent sales. The agent confirmed it. Sold 3 years ago. Buyer, Thomas Brooks. My father. They sold my house and never told me. When Grandpa called to confirm Christmas dinner, I almost broke. Almost told him everything. But I couldn't be the one to shatter his heart. Not yet. Of course I'll be there. I'll bring dessert. Clara texted later. I think my parents stole something that was meant for me, I typed. She replied, then make sure they hand it back themselves. I whispered to my empty room, okay then. Christmas dinner it is. 3 days before Christmas, I drove through freezing rain to Grandpa's office. His assistant Sarah hesitated when she saw me. Guilt flickered in her eyes. I just wanted to drop off his gift early, I said, fingers trembling. She lowered her voice. Mr. Brooks thought you'd already moved in. The world tilted. Moved in where? She reached into a drawer, slid out a manila folder. He talks about how proud he is. The house on Pacific Lane. Said it was in your name. Said your parents handled the paperwork. Her eyes softened. He really believes you've been living there. My throat closed. Can I see something? She handed me the photocopy. Original deed. My name, bold and unmistakable. Then stapled behind it, a sale agreement signed by Thomas Brooks. Outside, the cold hit like punishment. I sat in my car, gripping the papers until they crumpled. The only sound was the turn signal I'd forgotten to switch off. That night, I called Clara. They sold it. Took what was mine and told him I had it. So what are you going to do? I'm going to dinner. The next morning, I met Mark Steele, Grandpa's attorney. I didn't tell him everything. Just enough to make him frown. You'll be there, right? He studied me. Do you want me to protect your grandfather or expose your parents? Both, I said. In that order. Christmas night dressed itself in gold light and quiet tension. The chandelier shimmered. Laughter floated like stage smoke. Pretty. Fake. Rehearsed. I sat across from my parents, half listening to their stories about investments and vacations. Every word scraped my nerves. Grandpa lifted his glass. To family. Mom's lipstick caught the light. Always. I caught her eye. Something too deliberate flickered there. Dinner carried on. Polite conversation where everyone talks but no one listens. Then Grandpa asked about my work. It's fine, I said. Not as profitable as selling someone else's property, though. Mom's fork clinked. Excuse me? Nothing. But the heat was rising. Grandpa chuckled, trying to lighten the moment. You always were sharp, Angie. Then he leaned forward. By the way, do you like the house I bought you? Half a second. I thought I'd misheard. The laughter stopped. The chandelier hum turned to silence. What house? Mom's hand slipped. Red wine spilled across the tablecloth like blood on snow. Dad's jaw went rigid. Grandpa's eyes darted between us, confusion deepening. What house? I repeated. Louder this time. He set down his glass. The stem clicked against wood. His face shifted, disbelief curdling into anger. Show me the deed. Now. Dad tried first. Dad, this isn't the time. It's exactly the time. Grandpa's voice cut like glass. I trusted you to manage that property for her. Mom's voice cracked. Edward, please. We only. Lillian. His eyes locked onto hers. Don't insult me with another lie. Every sound magnified. The fire crackling. The grandfather clock ticking. My pulse pounding. Sarah appeared from the side doorway, handed Grandpa a brown envelope. He called for Mark. Mark Steele entered, briefcase in hand. Mr. Brooks, you asked me to review some transactions earlier this week. I think you'll want to see this. He spread documents across the table. My parents' faces drained of color. Mark pointed. This is the original purchase deed. Buyer, Angelina Brooks. Signed and notarized. He flipped the page. And this, sold 3 months later by Thomas Brooks. Transfer of funds confirmed here. Grandpa's hand shook as he traced the signatures. You sold her house. The one I bought for her future. Dad swallowed hard. We were only managing it. She wasn't ready for what? I snapped. To have something of my own? To stop needing you. Mom reached for me, desperate. Honey, we did it for you. You were struggling. We thought. I pulled away. No. You thought you could hide it. Grandpa stood. Slowly. Deliberately. The chairs scraped the floor. Everyone flinched. From this day forward, he said, you don't speak for her again. No one breathed. Mom started crying, mascara streaking. Edward, we didn't mean to hurt her. But you did. His voice went quiet. And you did it while smiling across my table. He reached into his vest pocket, pulled out a small velvet pouch. A silver key slid into his palm. It was meant to be yours, Angie. It still is. He placed it in front of me. My hands didn't move. I couldn't. My throat was too tight. Dad stood abruptly, chair tipping over. We're your family. You can't cut us out over some misunderstanding. Grandpa's eyes hardened. You're right. Your family. But not mine. Silence. The kind that rings louder than shouting. Mom's voice broke. Angelina, please tell him we can fix this. I finally looked up. Steady. You can't fix something you sold. Mark gathered the papers. We'll start reversal proceedings in the morning. Grandpa exhaled long and heavy. Merry Christmas. Not to them. To me. He rested a hand on my shoulder. The same hand that once taught me to draw straight lines when I was little. You always did have an eye for balance. Mom covered her face. Dad turned away, muttering. It didn't matter. Their excuses no longer carried weight. I stood, the key cold in my palm. The tree lights flickered. The air smelled of pine and betrayal. I'd imagined revenge would feel fiery. But it felt quiet. Like the ending of a long, sad song. When I stepped outside, the night air sliced my cheeks. Snow drifted onto the porch railing. Behind me, through the window, Grandpa still stood tall. A silhouette against warm light. Inside, my parents sat small and silent. Trapped in their own lies. I whispered, almost a prayer. They wanted me to earn my life. I just did. And with that, I walked into the snow. Free. Cold. Awake for the first time in years. The next morning, the house was quiet. Mom and Dad's car was gone by sunrise. Just twin tire tracks curving down the snowy driveway. They didn't say goodbye. Grandpa found me in the sunroom, coffee gone cold. His movements were slower. The kind that came after disappointment too deep to name. I gave them too much trust, he said softly. I thought money could keep us honest. I looked up. You believed the best in them. That's not a mistake. He shook his head. You reminded me what honesty actually looks like. He pulled out an envelope, slid it across the table. Inside, fresh papers. My name printed clearly at the top. The title deed. No signatures missing this time. I had Mark redo everything last night. It's official. The house is yours. And theirs will be handled separately. My throat tightened. Grandpa, I don't even know if I want it anymore. He smiled. Tired, but warm. You don't have to move in right away. Just know it's waiting. Like I'll be. Whenever you need me. Later that week, news spread through Portland's business circles. Thomas and Lillian Brooks had been quietly removed from several boards. The Brooks family reputation, once polished, now carried a faint crack. But no one outside knew the real story. I didn't feel triumphant. Didn't feel vindictive. Just lighter. Over coffee with Clara, I said, I didn't win anything. I just stopped losing myself. She nodded, smiling. That's what winning actually looks like. When I left the cafe, snow had melted into a thin shine on the sidewalks. For the first time in years, I walked without glancing over my shoulder. A week later, I drove to Pacific Lane. The street was quiet, lined with evergreens dusted in snow. The house stood there. White walls. Tall windows. A front porch waiting like an open hand. I stepped out. The air, crisp and clean. I held the silver key up to the morning light. For the first time, I didn't feel like someone's daughter or someone's disappointment. Just me. I turned the key in the lock and whispered, "Home." Justice doesn't always shout. Sometimes it just stands up.